releasing every Real Sociedad player to see where they would go. As long as nobody goes back to Real Sociedad, the video will be a success. First up is this Elizondo guy and he went to Bournemouth. Fair enough. Next up is Porto. And he went to Colón de Santa Fe. Who the hell even is that? Anyways, next up is Ramiro and of course. Okay, it's fine. As long as he's the only one to go back to Real Sociedad, we will be fine. Next up is Yanazar. And I give up. What can I do? Please just go to another club that's not Real Sociedad. Next up Isaac. When I said go to another club, I didn't mean go to Ajax. Next up is Marino and thank you. He went to another club that's not Ajax or Real Sociedad. Next up is David Silva and no, please leave me alone. Guys, help me defeat Ajax. Hit the subscribe button so we can pass Ajax in subscribers. We're actually close, I think. Anyways, last up is Oyarzabal and for fuck's sake. Releasing every Leicester City player to see where they would go. First up is Johnny Evans, and he went to Club Atletico Independiente. I have actually seen this club a lot in the past few videos. I hope they're not turning into the new Ajax. Next up is Harvey Barnes and he went to Besiktas. Pretty weird, but anyways, next up is James Maddison and he also went to the Turkish league, but he went to Fenerbahce. Next up is Ricardo Pereira and he went to Lille. Next up is Ndidi and he also went to Ligue 1, but he went to Lyon. We're actually so close to completing a full episode without seeing Ajax. Next up is Schmeichel, and he went to Napoli. Next up is Tielemans. I'm disappointed. We were so close to completing a full video without Ajax, but Tielemans had to ruin it. Anyways, last up is Jamie Vardy and he stayed at Leicester City. What experiment should I do next? Releasing every AC Milan player to see where they would go. First up is Giroud, and he went to Besiktas. Makes sense because he's getting older, but he's still good. Next up is Rebic and he went to Club Atletico Independiente. Why does that club have such a long name? Anyways, next up is Tomori, and no, I can't. Real Sociedad is back. At least it's not Ajax. Next up is Simon Kjær and he went to Let's just forget that last one. Tonali is next and he stays at AC Milan. Next up is Rafael Leo and he also stays at AC Milan. Next up is Theo Hernandez. And no, please no. Just leave me alone. Next up is Zlatan Ibrahimovic and since he was retiring at the end of the season, I couldn't add him on the transfer hub. But Fenerbahce is joining Ibrahimovic. Next up is Kessié. You know what? I have had enough of Ajax. Let me just fix it real quick. There you go. Much better. Last up is my nan. And she is staying at AC Milan too. Let me know which team I should do next. Releasing every Atletico Madrid player to see where they would go. First up is João Felix and he went to Manchester United. I feel sorry for João Felix. He has to play with Maguire. Next up is Carrasco and he went to Lille. That's very interesting. Next up is Jimenez. He went to Real Sociedad. I also see Real Sociedad a lot in these videos. At least Ajax hasn't appeared yet. Next up is Savic. And he went to AC Milan. Next up is Koke. And he also went to Lille. Is Lille the new Ajax? Next up to Llorente and he also went to Real Sociedad. Another player to Real Sociedad. Next up is Griezmann and he went to Chelsea. Now he can play Fortnite with Timo Werner and do Fortnite celebrations when they score. Next up is Luis Suarez. And he went to Roma. Guess he came to the Serie A to bite Chiellini again. I'm actually surprised we haven't seen Ajax for once. Anyway, last up is Oblak. Fuck you, Oblak. Anyways, what team should I do next? Leasing every Dortmund player to see where they would go. First up is Thorgan Hazard. And oh no, he has joined his brother's ex-rival club. Next up is Akanji and he joined Lille. That's a decent transfer. Next up is Emre Can. And he joined Cruz Azul. Who the hell even is that? Anyways, next up is Brandt and oh no, my nightmare is back. Ajax is back stealing the player. Next up is Jude Bellingham and he went to FC Barcelona. Barcelona really does like youngsters. Next up is Guerrero Rio, or however you say his name. He went to Real Sociedad. And I already had one nightmare in this video. Now I have two. Next up is Hummels and no, why? Anyways, next up is Royce and that's class from him because he stays loyal to Dortmund. And last but not least is Erling Haaland. And he is feeling very good at Real Madrid. Which club should I do next? Releasing every player from Inter to see where they would go. First up is Çalhanoğlu and I swear this man is confused. He was first at AC Milan, then he joined his rivals Inter and then he joined his rivals again. This man doesn't care. Next up is Brozovic and he went to Dortmund. Maybe he could help Dortmund get good again. Next up is Baylor and for fuck's sake, can Ajax not leave me alone for one time? They are signing everyone apart from Greenwood. Isn't FC got him before Ajax? Next up is Dzeko and he went to Arsenal. I feel sorry for him. Next up is De Vrij. And he chose the bag instead of loyalty. I'm disappointed. But to be fair, I would have done the same. Next up is Lukaku. What the hell is he doing here? Somebody take this man away from Inter before he marries them. Next up is Handanovic and he went to Chelsea. He should learn Kepa what the difference between a penalty kick and a goal kick is. Next up is Martinez and no, I'm not doing this. What are Ajax offering these players since they always join Ajax? Last up is Skriniar and he is the only one to chose loyalty. Well, yeah, it's good but also boring. What club should I do next? Releasing all Liverpool players to see where they would go. Let's just get into it. First player is Karius. And he went to join his best mate, Sergio Ramos. I don't know what PSG is going to use Karius for, but great. Next player is Matip. He went to join the Scottish side Rangers. Very random. Next player is Diogo Jota. And he got called up again for his national team. Great to see him back at Wolves. Next player is Henderson. He stays loyal to Liverpool, so respect for him. Next up is Roberto Firmino. And he went to join Napoli. Next up is Fabinho. He decided that he wanted to bump up his physical more on his FIFA card, after joining Bayern Munich. Next up is Alexander-Arnold. He stays loyal to Liverpool just like Henderson. Next up is Robertson. And okay, yay, this is a weird one. Robertson to Burnley? That's weird. Next player is Alisson. And he went to Inter. I guess Inter is replacing the old man in net. Next up is Virgil van Dijk. What the hell? PSG has now gotten everyone. Imagine their team with Van Dijk. Next up is Sadio Mane. He went to Barcelona. That's fair. Last but not least is Salah. And what the fuck? Out of all the clubs in the world and he goes to a Chinese club? What the hell? That's random and weird. Anyways, comment who I should do next. Releasing every Barcelona player to see where they would go. First up is Ansu Fati, and he has gone to Brentford. Well, that's fair but a bit weird. Next up is Martin Braithwaite. The GOAT went to Manchester City. Man City finally bought a striker and Braithwaite is the best one. Next up is Pedri, and he has gone to Lille. Interesting move. Next up is Lenglet, and he joined Villarreal. Boring move. Next up is Coutinho, and he went to Benfica. He probably went there to play Champions League football. Next up is Dembele, and he doesn't go anywhere. He stays in the Barcelona hospital bed. Next up is Piqué, and he went to Al Ahly in Saudi Arabia. What the hell has he done? Well, at least he can take good selfies there. Next up is Depay, and why? He has gone to Everton. That's very random. Next up is Busquets, and he went to Wolves. That's weird, he isn't Portuguese. But anyways, imagine him and Adama Traore doing a race. Next up is Jordi Alba. He went to Lazio. That's fair. Next up is De Jong, and no, PSG needs to chill. They have all the world-class players. They don't need more. Last up is Ter Stegen, and he went to Man United. Nothing much to say, other than United still haven't got a good keeper. Releasing every Bayern Munich player to see where they will go. First up is Lucas Hernandez, and of course another player to Ajax as usual. Next up is Alphonso Davies. He has gone to Real Madrid. That's a very good move for him. Just imagine him and Vinicius on the left side. Next up is Leroy Sané, and he has gone to Liverpool. He has done a Sterling but in reverse. Anyways, probably a bad move for him since they already got Salah. Next up is Gnabry, and he has gone to one of the only London clubs he hasn't destroyed. Next up is Coman, and he has also gone to Ajax. I actually hate Ajax in these experiments. They are annoying because they take every player. Next up is Goretzka, and for fuck's sake, man. Another one to Ajax. Ajax is so annoying. Next up is Müller. Oh no, he has snaked Bayern Munich. Anyways, next up is Kimmich. He has gone to Bayern Munich. How could he? He has betrayed Pep Guardiola, and United doesn't need him. They already have Fred. Kimmich should learn from Fred. Next up is Neuer, and he has gone to Barcelona. He probably went there to teach Ter Stegen on how to save a ball. Last one is Lewandowski, and he went to PSG. Lewandowski is probably still mad after that Ballon d'Or. Hopefully he doesn't do anything too bad.
Where did you go? Where did
Releasing all Ajax players to see where they would go. I'm doing Ajax because every time I do this with a club they always go to Ajax. So let's see where they would go now. First up is Kudos. Oh, for fuck's sake, man. He went back to Ajax. Well, that's not supposed to happen. Next up is Gravenberch. He went to Bayern Munich. His physical upgrade will be... I'm joking. I won't use the physical joke with Bayern Munich anymore. Next up is Davy Klaassen, and he didn't go back to Ajax. That's class from him. Okay, that wasn't funny. Moving on. Next up is David Neres, and he has gone to Real Sociedad. I also see a lot of people go to Real Sociedad. Pretty weird. Next up is Anthony. That's physical upgrade though. I'm joking. Again. Next up is Mazraoui, and no way. Not again. He has gone back to Ajax. Please don't. Next up is Haller, and yes, this is interesting. First time someone goes to the Saudi League. He's probably gonna blow up there. I meant he's probably gonna get a lot of followers there. Next up is Burgess, and he's getting a house in Turkey. Okay, I'm sorry, that wasn't even funny, but he has gone to Galatasaray. Next up is Tagliafico, and he has gone to Club Brugge. That's interesting. Nothing really to talk about. Next up is Daley Blind, and he has gone to Monterrey. Yeah, fair. Last but not least is Tadic, and he has also gone to Real Sociedad. I think Real Sociedad is becoming the new Ajax. Anyways, who should I do next? Releasing every player from Arsenal to see where they would go. First up is Hector Bellerin. He has gone to the Turkish league. This is where his downfall of his career is beginning. It probably already begun a few years ago. Next up is Martinelli, and he has gone to Bayern Munich. His goal against Chelsea was so good that Bayern Munich wanted him. Next up is Xhaka.
Ex-hacker. I got gayer. I got nigger.
Yeah, it's probably best if I do not play the rest of the clip. Next up is Smith Rowe. He has gone to Lille in France. Random but could help with his career. To be fair, he's pretty good right now. Next up is Tierney, and of course Ajax is back. Tierney has gone to Ajax. Next up is Torreira. He has gone back to Spain, but this time to Real Sociedad. Next up is Saka, and he has also gone to Real Sociedad. Pepe is next. This is a very interesting move. Imagine him and Zaha up top. Next up is Lacazette. He has gone to River Plate. This is a sign of retirement. Next up is Lino. Not again. Another player that has gone to Real Sociedad. Next up is Thomas Partey. He has gone to Napoli. This could be a very good move in real life. Last but not least is Aubameyang, and for fuck's sake, another player to Ajax. Who should I do next? Releasing every Real Madrid players to see where they would go. First up is Marco Asensio, and of course, every time I do this at least 2 people go to Ajax. I'm going to do Ajax next just to see what would happen. Next up is Ferland Mendy, and no way. He has also gone to Ajax. Is the whole Real Madrid squad going to Ajax or what? Next up is David Alaba. Okay, finally at least he hasn't gone to Ajax. He has gone to Real Sociedad. Carvajal is next, and he has gone to the French champions Lille. Next up is Eden Hazard, and no way. Another one. He has also gone to Ajax. He will probably get injured on his way to Ajax. Next up is Modric, and he has gone to Porto. This is interesting and weird. Next up is Kroos. He has gone to Liverpool. That's the first player that has gone to a big club. Next up is Courtois. He hasn't gone to any club. He's probably busy stealing other people's girlfriends. Next up is Casemiro. He has gone to Bayern Munich. He is already buff, so he is gonna be stronger than Akinfenwa soon. Last but not least is Benzema. He hasn't gone to any club. I believe he has started a movie production with Valbuena. Who should I do next? Releasing every Spurs player to see where they would go. Let's just get into it. First player is Dele Alli. He has decided to go to Belgium. Maybe he can get better there. Next up is Lucas Moura. He has gone to Cagliari in Italy. That's a bit random. Next up is Lo Celso. He has gone to Ajax. Just imagine that perfect link with Tagliafico. Play the clip. Next up is Romero. And he has also gone to Ajax. That's another perfect link. Play the clip twice. Next up is Ndombele. He has gone to Bayern Munich. His card will be very good after that physical upgrade at Bayern Munich. Next up is Højbjerg. Okay, why is everyone going to Ajax? Next up is Alderweireld. He has gone to Belgium. This one could be realistic because he is Belgium. And he's old. Next up is Loris. He has also gone to Ajax. Okay, but why is everyone going to Ajax? Do the Tottenham players feel bad that they beat them in the semi-finals and just decided to join them? Weird. Anyways, next up is Home Minute Son. He hasn't gone to any club yet. This is a good time for him to participate in the Squid Games. Last but not least is Harry Kane. And he also hasn't gone to any club. Of course, nobody wants a man that doesn't turn up to training. Comment who I should do next. Releasing all PSG players to see where they would go. First up is Wijnaldum. He has gone to River Plate. That's very random. Don't know why he has gone there, but next up is Hakimi and he has gone to Real Sociedad. Why? Just why? Next up is Marquinhos. His card is gonna be OP after that physical upgrade. Next up is Di Maria, and he has gone to Juventus. Could be realistic. At least it's not Arsenal. Next up is Sergio Ramos, and he has gone to Newcastle United. You can already see that the takeover has helped them. Next up is Verratti, and he has gone to Porto. Very weird again. Don't know why, but he did it. Next up is Keylor Navas. He has gone to Chelsea. Chelsea doesn't need a keeper. They have already gotten Mendy. Next up is Donnarumma, and he has gone to Spurs. He doesn't care about trophies apparently. Next up is Neymar, and for fuck's sake, you had one job, Neymar, and that was to not join your rivals. Anyways, Neymar has gone to Real Madrid. Next up is Mbappe. And what is happening? He wanted to join Real Madrid in real life, but he has joined Barcelona. How can Barcelona even afford him? What did they offer him? A baguette every week or what? Last person is Messi. And what the fuck? Why Wolfsburg? What is he gonna do there? Make TikToks with Lacroix? Comment who I should do next. Releasing all Man United players to see where they would go. First player is Phil Jones. And what the hell? Phil Jones has gone to Fleetwood Town. That's the third division in England. He's just given up. At this point, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer should just join him. Next up is Greenwood. And he went to Dortmund. I see. He's going to follow Sancho's path. He's going to get insane in the Bundesliga and then come back to the Premier League just to be on the bench. Anyways, next player is Lingardinho. And he went to... Wait, what? What club even is that? Is that club in the Mexican League or what? Okay, so I was right. They are a Mexican team, but that's very random. Anyways, next up is David De Gea, and he went to join the Turkish side, Besiktas. That's very random. De Gea in Turkey. I could just imagine. Next up is Harry Maguire. Oh no. What have you done, Harry? Confirmed. Harry Maguire is a snake. Next up is Luke Shaw. He hasn't gone to any club yet. Next up is Cavani, and he went to Club Brugge in the Belgium League. I don't know why, but I could see this happening in the future. Next up is Rashford. He stays loyal to United, obviously because he has a job, and that job is to save kids. Anyways, next player is Varane. He still hasn't gone to any club, just like Luke Shaw. Next up is Paul Pogba. He went to AC Milan, and you know what? That kit actually looks good on him, and he reunites with Zlatan, so this is a perfect club for Pogba. Next up is Jadon Sancho. He went to Atletico Madrid. To be fair, he probably won't sit on the bench at Atletico Madrid. Next up is Bruno Fernandes, and he went to... Oh no, what have you done to yourself, Bruno? What has gone wrong? Bruno Fernandes in Arsenal? That's so weird. And last but not least is Ronaldo. What the fuck? Out of all the clubs in the world, and Ronaldo chooses to go to Turkey. This is so weird. Anyways, what club should I do next? Releasing all Man City players to see where they would go. Let's just get into it. First player is Foden, and he went to Bayern Munich. He probably just went there to get buff. Next player is Jack Grealish, and he went to Ajax. It's a bit random, not gonna lie. Next up is Kyle Walker, and he also went to Ajax. Why is everyone going to Ajax? Next up is Cancelo, and he went to Spain. He went to Real Sociedad. Next up is Mahrez, and he went to Porto. Very random, I would say. Next up is Benjamin Mendy, and he went to the club he likes most, Young Boys. Next up is Bernardo Silva, and he also went to Ajax. What is happening in Ajax? Why is everyone going there? Next up is Laporte. He went to Dortmund. This just reminds me of Marc Bartra. Next up is Ruben Dias. And he stays loyal to Man City. Respect for that. Next up is Ederson, and he also stays loyal to City with Ruben Dias. Next up is Sterling, and he joins Cancelo at Real Sociedad. And last but not least is De Bruyne, and he also stays loyal to City. He doesn't want to leave his son. Anyways, what club should I do next? Today I'm gonna release all Chelsea players to see what club they would go to. And yes, I got this idea from someone else. His TikTok is in the comments. Anyways, let's see where the players went to. First up is Rudiger. This is so random, but he went to Real Sociedad. Next up is the captain himself, Azpilicueta, and he went to Juventus. Also a bit random, but it's better. Next up is the main man himself, Timo Werner. He went to Atletico Bilbao. Why is everyone going to Spain? This is also very random. Next up is Mason Mount. You disappointed me. Why did you join Manchester United? Anyways, next up is Jorginho. Very weird, but he joined Ajax. He looks a bit weird in the Ajax kit, not gonna lie. Anyways, next up is Havertz, and why? Just why? Why is everyone joining United? Next up is Lukaku. Okay, this makes a bit more sense. He went to Real Madrid. I mean, at least it's not United. Last one is Kante. What the fuck? This is the most random transfer by far. Kante in New York Red Bulls? What is Kante doing in America? Anyways, what team should I do next?